Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Reel Me In, a movie podcast where you didn't really ask for it, but hey, I'm going to give it to you anyways. This is a podcast where I talk about anything, everything, and anything about movies. I'm your host, Chase Lee, and guys, this is episode 110. Holy shit, that's a lot. So this is the end of the year. It's the top 10 films of 2015. Since that is the episode, there's going to be no news or trailers, and to be honest, there was nothing else that dropped. So it's just going to be the list of the top 10 films of 2015. But of course, I'm joined by the one and only, my very first guest. Jackson, did you realize that you were on episode, I think it was 7? 7.
It took you 6 weeks to find someone who would go on your show.
I know. It's Jackson was like, he was like, no, I'm not going to do it, but, I forced him. I blackmailed him. So, no, Jackson's been on here. He was my very first guest ever. He has done the top 10 films of each year and the top 5 anticipated films of the following year. He's done it for 3 years now, so I had to bring him back. So, Jackson, how are we doing?
I'm doing good, man.
Can you tell people where you're at right now?
Home in the laundry room, hiding.
He's hiding from people, but God damn it, Jackson's gonna do this because I don't do this episode without him. All right, so first of all, before we get into the top 10, guys, if you're watching on YouTube and you want an audio-only version of this podcast, link will be in the description below. And if you're listening on Spreaker, iHeartRadio, or SoundCloud, link will be in the description below. For a video version, you can see my face and hear Jackson's voice on either or. It doesn't matter. There is no face to Jackson. It's only a voice.
You do video now?
I do video now. So, all right. Wait, did you not know that?
No. Did you shut up. Did you change your intro?
No.
The music.
Oh, yeah. I probably did since the last time you were on.
Yeah. I thought it was like the intro. It sounded like the intro to like someone's YouTube videos where they do like Call of Duty commentary and they're like 14 years old.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jackson's been gone for several months, but he comes back swinging. I swear.
I'm full disclosure, like moderately stoned right now. So that's.
But then again, you're never like fully sober at all when you do this, so it's all good.
I'm high on life.
You're always high on life. Well, you were high. You were definitely high last year on life when you and I put Lego Movie on there. So
it's on this year too. I cheated.
You put it on there again?
It's on here again, yeah. Just because I watched it again. I got the Blu-ray. It's fun.
That's fucking awesome. So before we get into our list, guys, what are some of your guys' favorite movies? Comment place with my face and let me know. But before we begin, Jackson, like, what was your overall thoughts of this year? Was it a pretty good year? Did you like it better than last year? Or what are you thinking?
I was thinking about this today because I saw a few movies today. Actually made one last minute edition very high up on my list, but like today, and so I felt like I had like. I saw fewer movies than I've seen in any other year. Usually by now I'd be at like 80. I'm in the 50s still, high 50s. And that's just because some stuff I didn't want to see, some stuff I couldn't see because where I go to college, it's just not a very good theater. It's not a very good theater.
Yeah.
So I saw like a pretty low number of movies, and then I was thinking, okay, but shit, I have a top 10 that are all 5s and 4.5s. And then I have a few honorable mentions that are 4.5s.
Yeah.
So does that mean that like a fifth of my stuff I loved? Like, does that say something about me as a person? Do I rate things too highly?
It questions your whole existence. Did you not know that?
Yeah.
No.
Did that answer your question at all?
Yeah. No. I feel like this year, like, there were a lot of strong fucking movies. Let's get no mistake about that. Like, it was tough. It was fucking tough to come up with a list of any sort. So
I would just want to start. I get into it. I just want to start with some stuff that I didn't get to see.
Yeah.
As of now.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't know. Yeah, we'll get that in just like give me like 10 seconds. But Jackson, it's okay. Like I realize that he's in a laundry room, but it's okay. There are worse things in life right now. So No. Like this year was overall good, and I'm excited to see Jackson's list. I don't know what it is. He doesn't know what mine is. But yeah, before we begin to our list, we'll do some honorable mentions, and then we'll go back and forth. So Jackson 10, me 10, all the way up until number 1, and then that will do it for the episode. So Jackson, what are some of the ones that barely just did not make your list?
Well, I should start with the stuff that I just did miss. I haven't seen Revenant, haven't seen Room.
Oh, okay.
Those are the two, I think, probably big ones. There's a lot of stuff I haven't seen yet. So honorable mentions. Let me check my top 10. Mistress America is one of them, and both Baumbach films, actually. Mistress America and what was the other one? While We're Young. I would put those both as honorable mentions, both great. Timbuktu, which was from Mauritania, I believe.
Oh, okay.
Great film. Hard to Be a God. Great Russian film. With some gorgeous cinematography. And and the big one, Inside Out.
Oh, okay.
I really hated leaving off the list, but Inside Out. I was pulling up the list just to double check if Inside Out was on there or not. Inside Out, yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
No, those are some great ones. I haven't heard of Timbuktu, I believe.
That was, I think, nominated for Best Foreign Film last year.
Oh, okay.
But it did not get a U.S. release until this year.
Okay, yeah, then it definitely counts then. So I'll have to definitely check that one out because I forgot which one you mentioned last year, but I watched it after you mentioned it and I liked it. But yeah, some of the ones that barely made my list. It Follows, Me, Earl, and the Dying Girl, Victoria, which is one of the best one-take movies I've ever seen in my life. Anomalisa, which is a really great animated film from the great Charlie Kaufman, and Spotlight. I like Spotlight a lot, but it's not like one of those movies I was like, oh my god, it's top 10 of the year. Jackson, what the fuck are you doing over there?
Nothing. Did that make a lot of noise?
Yeah, it did.
I'm sorry.
I was wondering, like, were you dying? Like, you were slowly, like, just crawling into a hole? Like, oh god. Jackson, I'm concerned. I was just wondering if you're okay.
I'm okay. Is this going well so far?
Yeah, it's
okay.
It's better than when Cameron and Patrick are on. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, those hooligans. Shout out to those hooligans.
Yeah, they don't really like me too much. All right, so anyways,
boys.
So those are the ones that barely made my list. I'm sorry that Spotlight wasn't on there. I know a lot of people are gonna be upset, but hey, what are you gonna do?
Okay. Spotlight, I thought was good. I didn't love it.
Yeah.
And Melissa, I saw today. I liked a lot.
Okay.
I feel like you need to watch it twice.
Yeah.
Not because it's so deep or anything or so complicated, just so that you can watch it the second time and not be completely shocked by the sex scene.
Yeah, that had to be one of the most realistic sex scenes in a movie this year.
The thing is, I was watching with friends and we were all feeling it up to that point.
Yeah.
And then we all started laughing, even though we were emotionally invested.
Yeah.
It wasn't like we were laughing through the whole movie. We started laughing our asses off. So I feel like you watch it again, you don't laugh at that, and you can just sort of get through it. But and then I also saw Carol today, which I thought was kind of average, but so that is not going to be on my top 10 because I just did not think that was that great. But I might watch it again. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah, no, that's okay. I forgot since Jackson brought it up. I have not seen Carol, The Big Short, The Danish Girl, Trumbo, or I think that's it. Those are like the only 4, and Concussion. Those are the only 5 I have not seen. So none of them will be on my list. All right, so Jackson, you're the guest. You can start as always. So, Jackson, what is your number 10 film? And I'm going to go ahead and write it down on this trusty little board I got here. And I'll reveal to the audience our list at the end.
So, mine is Brooklyn.
Ooh, really? Did you like it that much?
I did. I really did. It had a very old school movie quality to it.
Okay.
And I kind of liked how hopeful it was. It was not an immigrant story. Like, when I was watching it, I kept thinking about the movie The Immigrant with Marion Cotillard.
Mm-hmm.
It came out last year that I really liked, but that was, if you saw that, a really grim and oppressively sad depiction of immigration. And so because I was so used to that, I had that imprinted on my mind from The Immigrant. When I was watching Brooklyn, the whole time I'm like, okay, when's she going to get tuberculosis and die, though? You know? Like, I was expecting something terrible to happen, and this isn't much of a spoiler, but it really doesn't. It is about the it's almost like it could almost be like a great propaganda movie for the U.S. because it's about sort of the greatness of the American dream and the opportunity that we could provide people back then, and sort of how that's maybe not necessarily as true now. I think you can see sort of connect parallels, like sort of compare your world to what it was like in the 50s where Brooklyn takes place. And I thought it looked great. Saoirse Ronan is amazing in it. I hope she wins Best Actress.
Wow, really?
I loved her in that movie. I thought she was so impressive.
Damn.
So yeah, Brooklyn. John Crowley.
I didn't see Brooklyn, so I think you convinced me to see it. So I'll definitely check that out. So
it's great, and tomato wise, it's like one of the highest right now. It's like 98, 99, something in that range.
Wait, what?
Yeah, it's in like the high 90s.
Okay, I need to see it now. Holy shit! Wow, I did not think it was that good. All right, so yeah, I definitely need to check that out. I've been wanting to check it out. So let's add that to 6 films I did not see this year. So my number 10, I'm going to tell you this right now, straight up. Jackson and I are the only 2 people that are going to have this movie on our top 10 of the year list. I will guarantee it. Jackson's going to know what I'm talking about as soon as I say this one word. I saw this documentary earlier in this year, and I gotta tell you, it was one of the only documentaries I've ever seen where I felt physically ill and I fucking hated our species with like no other. It's a documentary that focuses on rapes and colleges or sexual assaults among colleges and stuff. And it was just gut wrenching, man. It just makes you feel like shit. And that is The Hunting Ground. It is one of the most unbearable documentaries to sit through because you're like, wow, we are capable of doing shitty things. So, Jackson, I mean, you obviously love this movie because you and I like are the only 2 people that talk about it.
So that is on my top 10.
Yeah.
But I will say, had I done your halfway thing, that was my number 1 at that point.
Was it really?
Yeah, it was.
Damn.
And I was wondering, I kept wondering if I would finish out the year with the documentary as my favorite, like I did last year.
Yeah.
Because that was the first time that ever happened last year. And this year it did not happen, but it is in my top 10 because you're right. It is. I think it's something that I watched it at my college. They screened it for us.
Oh.
So I was thinking free movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, but it ended up being this really profound thing that I think I now think should be shown in every college.
It does. Like it's
it demands to be seen.
It was so bad, dude. I walked out of the theater going, "Wow, that was pretty bad." The only dislike, and I don't know if you agree with me, but
is it the song?
No, it's not the song.
Oh,
no, you know, on documentaries, like they'll choose one side and they don't really kind of show both. I kind of wish they would have showed more people that committed sexual assaults and rape. But I understand, like, getting them is very, very hard.
From their side, like maybe they're innocent, or just what it was like to be that kind of person.
Yeah, what it's like why did you fucking do it type of deal, you know? Yeah, but I mean, I understand, like, you don't want to be on camera. I get it. But yeah, that was my only complaint about it. But other than that, it's fucking awesome. So
they did have a couple though, which I appreciated. If I remember correctly, they had like 1 or 2, but you're right, it was not.
Yeah.
My big gripe with the movie is that all the stories are kind of the same, and it's very often like straight white women. Yeah. In a lot of it, you don't really see transgender women where sexual assaults against those people are. I mean, that's a huge problem. Or gay people, or and it was only one type of story. It was always, he forced me or he drugged me. There wasn't enough like gray area stuff that I felt like would have been useful. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because they picked things where everyone would be like, okay, that's sexual assault. But there are always some gray areas in when you're talking about consent where some people don't see it as rape, even though it is. And they didn't cover many stories like that, which I think that's the area you need to target, because those are the people whose minds you need to change. Yeah. No, I totally agree. It's just, oh, dude, every time that's the film that fucking sticks with you. I don't care what anyone thinks. Yeah, I didn't think the song was that good. The song, I thought it was tacky. I thought it was unnecessary and a little tacky. So Jackson loves the movie, but he's like, that goddamn song, man. Well, yeah, because it feels like a very almost Hollywood type thing to do in a documentary that's otherwise so raw and just disturbing. Yeah. No, I'm actually, like, don't tell me. I'm actually really excited to see where it's placed on your list.
So with that being said, what is your number 9?
So I think it is Mad Max.
Really? You wait.
Are you surprised that I put it on there? Are you surprised that it's not high?
No, I'm surprised you put it on there.
Dude, that was there were three very memorable theatrical experiences for me this year, and this is not necessarily indicative of what I thought of the movie. Just these are not the 3 best. These are the 3 best theater experiences. One was seeing Roadshow Hateful Eight. One was seeing Star Wars opening night in 3D, and the other was seeing Mad Max. It's so relentless, man. It's amazing that a guy that old, I think he's like in his 80s now, 70s, could have that much energy. It reminded me of like watching Wolf of Wall Street, where you see this movie where you would think this is made by like a young, up-and-coming visionary, soon-to-be visionary.
Yeah.
Because of the energy. And it wasn't. It was made by this 70-something-year-old veteran. And, he had outdone himself in terms of raunchiness and all that stuff. And it feels like this, the same with Mad Max, where you're like, wow, this must be some upcoming, action game changer dude. And it's like, no, it's George Miller who did the originals from the 70s. So, that's impressive alone. Tom Hardy's great. Charlize Theron is great. I've heard people describe her as the new Ellen Ripley, in terms of just having that badass female character.
Yeah.
I totally agree. She's amazing. The villain, the acting, the performances are really underrated, I think. Theron's been getting her dues, but like, what's his name? The guy who plays Holt, Nicholas Holt.
Oh, yeah.
And then the guy who plays Immortan Joe. Those are 2 really good performances, especially Nicholas Holt. He's really, really fantastic in that movie. And I don't think the acting is really appreciated as much, but that's a great performance. It's just wall-to-wall action. The stunts are amazing. It feels like a play at times. It feels like an opera at times. And then it feels like a video game at other times. It is I was going to say, so which movies are not going to be on my top 10. This is the best blockbuster of 2015.
Oh, I mean, I'm going to be honest with you right now. I only have 1 blockbuster on my list. So, I guess 2. But, I like Mad Max. I don't love it. I mean, I saw it twice. Don't get me wrong. And I really love the spectacle of it. I couldn't see anything beyond that. Maybe when the next one comes out, maybe I'll appreciate Fury Road a lot more. I'm just not a huge Mad Max fan, so that might be it. I'm just, I'm a fucking idiot. So
I feel like it's not a movie with substance, but it's a movie that triumphantly knows that you don't have to be good.
Well, I mean, you need to see that in theaters. It's not like a home theater movie. Like, you need to fucking experience
I feel
that.
like if you have a good enough home theater, you can enjoy it.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't watch it on a phone. But I wouldn't watch any action movie on a phone.
No, that's just why would you do that? That's a good pick, man. I'm gonna let you guys know Mad Max is nowhere on my list. I'm sorry.
Piece of shit.
I know. Jackson he hates me so much right now.
I did.
My number 9, I saw it at Fantastic Fest, and I gotta tell you, man, that was one of the most powerful Holocaust movies I've ever seen in my life, and that would be Son of Saul. This thing is incredible. It from beginning to end, you have this sense of just tension, and you're like, what the hell's going to happen? Even though you know what the Holocaust is, we follow this character. He's trying to bury his son properly. It's so touching and moving and just so disturbing. And just the way it's shot, because it's shot in a 35 millimeter format, so it's got this really tight, compact, like claustrophobic type of feel to it, and it's so good. It's shot so well. And the last scene of the movie, the last few moments, it's so haunting and just kind of gets under your skin. You're like, what the fuck? Get out of my skin, yo. So Son of Saul is really good. I'm a sucker for Holocaust movies, so that would be my number 9. Jackson, did you see that Son of Saul?
No, I didn't. I that was another one I forgot to mention that I missed. I will try and see it. 45 Years is also another one. I actually saw the trailer for the first time today when I went to see a movie. When I went to see a movie, one of the movies I saw today, which ended up on my top 10, but I'm not going to say it. But Son of Saul, I got the trailer for that, and the tight shots I did notice. I was like, this is a really tight camera.
Yeah.
Just I've heard it's great. I do really want to see it. So
I think you'll really enjoy it. Like the whole movie's basically shot from behind, like a behind point of view type of thing, except for like a few scenes. But other than that, like it's so tight on the main character. Like you're just like, Jesus Christ, can we back up a little bit? But I mean, that's the point. So yeah, that's my number 1. Or no, sorry, number 9, Son of Saul. Jackson, what do you got for
number 8?
Yeah, number 8.
Number 8's The Hunting Grounds.
Oh, okay, so yours is a little higher.
Yeah, a little boring, not enough to a little boring because we don't have anything really to talk about because we talked about it already. But yeah, great documentary.
I just one quick question and we'll move on. Where did you see it?
I told you my college screened it.
Oh yeah, that's right. Because
they had a thing. They had like rape prevention week, and it's like a week every day of that week is a different event designed to promote awareness of this sort of things and to sort of educate people. Mm-hmm. And so one of the days was a screening of this in the lecture hall.
Okay, yeah, I just because like you were the only person I know that saw it, because when I saw it, it was at a press screening with like 3 other people, so I was like, who the hell has seen this movie? So yeah, no, I'm glad that someone else fucking saw it, because now I don't sound crazy. So my number 8 is I gotta go with one of the most fun theater experiences I've had. One of the coolest horror comedies I've seen in quite some time. Since Shaun of the Dead, Cabin in the Woods, and Tucker and Dale versus Evil, I gotta go with Cooties, man. I fucking love this movie. There's nothing more to say about it. It is a nice blend of horror and comedy. I enjoyed myself. I was laughing my ass off. It's super gory, and it goes there, man. Like some of these kids are getting straight up murdered, and it's fucking awesome. The only thing I had a problem with was the ending was kind of abrupt, and I don't know if that was just me wanting more or if the fact that it just kind of stopped. I'm going to go with the latter. I think they should have added a little bit more or kind of tied in like a sequel idea or something. I actually watched the alternate ending. I actually like that more. If you guys want to know what that is, just look for it online or something. But Jackson, did you see Cooties?
No, but I did see the trailer. I remember you had it. Wasn't that your favorite at one point?
Yeah, it was my favorite at one point.
Like halfway through the year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. It might be ridiculous and stupid to some people, but I fucking enjoyed it, man. There's really nothing more to say. I think it's a really fun horror comedy, and I had a lot of fun with it, like I said. So that's my number 8. Jackson, what is your number 7?
Number 7 is, what is it? Sicario.
Oh, okay.
Which is dark and gloomy. It's very much like Traffic. Also, because Benicio del Toro's in it, he's amazing. I think it might be the performance of Emily Blunt's career. One of Josh Brolin's best. Deakins does an amazing job with the photography, and I just really like the way it talks about the drug war, because it's sort of about how we're throwing all this money, and this is the best we can do.
Yeah.
Like it's showing, it's very bleak, in a way where like Prisoners was bleak and Enemy was bleak, and those were bleak on like personal levels. And so it was bleak on the soul for Prisoners, and it was bleak on the mind for Enemy, and this is like politically bleak.
Yeah.
It's sort of about the futility of the drug war, of our war on drugs, and it's just powerful, man, and. Yeah, the sound design is incredible. It's tense as hell. I think it's my favorite Denis Villeneuve movie that I've seen, but I've only seen his most 3 recent, so I'm not the best judge. But of those 3, it's my favorite. Yeah, Sicario really blew me away.
And it's like you said, like there's almost like that. There's like no hope at all at that movie. It's like there's no bright spot. It's just like they're going further down that rabbit hole, man, and it fucking blows. It is on my list somewhere, but we'll get to that in just a second.
Yeah. It's kind of like there's one point where one of the characters talks about like the way we win the drug war. Like the best we can do is prop up. Do have like a Pablo Escobar thing where we prop up one drug kingpin and he's someone we can agree with. So they can't like even end the war on drugs. The best they can do is get someone get a singular ruler the same way we do in like overseas countries.
Yeah.
And just have someone we can agree with. Like, you're not solving the problem. You're just making it easier on yourselves. It's really potent stuff. So it is on your list.
Yeah, it is on my list.
Okay,
and just a quick thing, I am so upset that this thing is not getting any recognition from any awards at all. Yeah. Like, it's fucking disturbing.
Yeah, maybe just like, I think it's just going to get cinematography and maybe a sound award.
I mean, yes, and I agree. Like, the cinematography is dope. But let's be fair, Lubezki's going to take it for Revenant. But with that being said, Sicario, what the fuck? Awards? Like, where you at? Where's the love at? It's just fucking weird. Yeah, that's a great pick, man. It is on my list somewhere. My number 7 is a movie I just saw today, and that would be The Hateful Eight. I absolutely fucking love this movie. Like what Jackson said, it's one of the best theater experiences I had. I've never seen a movie like that where it starts out with an overture, gets you involved with the movie, with the music and that sense of dread, with that beautiful haunting score, and then we get into the first half, intermission, second half. It was a great experience, and it's shot in 70 millimeter. Or no, it's projected in 70 millimeter. It's shot in 65, excuse me. So it's like this extreme widescreen, which it works for the outside stuff, but it's not really meant for the cabin scenes. But other than that, it's got Tarantino flair all over it. It's got great creative dialogue and characters. The tension throughout is just dripping with atmosphere. It is fantastic. And then, of course, the violence is over the top and fantasy all the way. But I had such a fun time with it, and it's just one of those movies that will stick with you, man. So, yeah, I'll have my full review on my channel at some point, but that is why I'm putting that as my number 7. Just a great theater experience and a shit ton of fun, and pretty damn creepy and disturbing in some parts. So, Jackson, you saw the Hateful Eight Roadshow edition, right?
Yeah, I saw it yesterday.
Yes.
It was definitely an experience. I love the booklet.
Yeah. Since this is on video, here's the booklet right here. It's kind of cool. It's a nice little behind the scenes type of deal. So if you do see the Roadshow edition, you will get this.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they say it's free of charge, but they'll charge you extra for the ticket. So it's like you're really just paying for the book, but whatever.
It's still kind of cool though.
It is cool.
Yeah.
It is cool. So my number 6 is Queen of Earth.
Ooh.
Which some friends just bullied me. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to mince words. They were bullying me just into seeing it, and I did, and it's so tense, and it's almost like a horror movie at times, even though there's nothing particularly gruesome about it. Elizabeth Moss is amazing. I mean, this is the same year she's finishing up Mad Men, so she's really proving that she can do both, and I think it's going to be good for her career, transitioning back into movies now that she's done with this show. Catherine Waterston's great. I don't really want to talk about it that much, just because going into it, I didn't know anything about it, and that helped because I had no idea where it was going. I didn't even know what the story was.
Yeah.
I just knew, hey, it's these two actors that I like, and it's supposed to be great. Let's check it out. And it was really fantastic.
I actually just saw it 2 days ago, and it's not on my list, but I will say this. Elizabeth Moss does give a hell of a performance, and so does Catherine Waterston.
They should both be in Oscar
talk. They should. I didn't really care for the movie as much, but the performances, without a doubt, are outstanding. And I just like Jackson, I was fucking bullied into it. Not bullied, but like every time when Joel would post something on Facebook about it, I'm just like, fuck me, I gotta watch this movie now. So it was on Netflix or whatever, so I checked it out.
Yeah, now it is. Oh yeah, everyone just goes check it on Netflix. It's amazing.
Yeah, so if you guys are curious about Queen of Earth, I would recommend it. It's on Jackson's list, so check that shit out, please. My number 6 is Sicario. Like what Jackson said, it's one of those movies that makes you feel dirty and grimy, and you're just like, oh my God, like our system is so fucked up. And Benicio del Toro gives one of the creepiest performances of the entire year, which once again, awards, what the fuck. Emily Blunt gives a great performance, once again awards, what the fuck. And then Roger Deakins has some of the best nighttime cinematography I've ever seen, period. Like, there's one scene, Jackson knows what I'm talking about. It's like right at, like, just beyond sunset. And
oh yeah,
you can
the way he uses silhouettes and stuff.
Yeah, silhouettes. Oh god, it's breathtaking. It's like, how the fuck did he shoot this? No, it's a well shot movie. It's really tense. Denis Villeneuve, who did Prisoners and Enemy, two movies which I really, really love. Sicario is definitely up there again among the cavalcade of his movies or whatever. So yeah, Sicario is a great drug movie. Yeah, is it, a kind of a drug war movie we've seen before? Sure. But the way it's executed is top notch. That's why it is good and ready to go on my list. So Sicario is number 6. So now we're getting into our top 5. This is it, ladies and gentlemen. These are the 5 that defined both me and Jackson's souls. Okay. So let's get to this. Jackson, what is your number 5?
I have The Martian.
Really? I didn't think you liked it that much.
I did. It was my number 1 at one point. I basically, I just love how hopeful it is, and how much it's kind of like, not really about people versus people. It doesn't have a villain. It's just everyone's trying to collectively solve this problem. It's I think a great recruiting tool for the sciences and for astronaut work. But I think it's also just a testament to what we can do when we put our heads together. So I loved how hopeful and non-cynical it was.
Right. Yeah.
And Matt Damon did. When I walked out of that movie, the first thing I thought was, wow, that was an amazing performance by Matt Damon. He's just charismatic as hell. And hold on, and the second, so that's the first thing I thought. Sorry, I was just sending a text. That was the first thing I thought, and then the second thing I thought was, this is going to be completely ignored by the Oscars, and I'm very happy that it's not. Like, it's a serious contender. But yeah, I thought it was going to be overlooked, and I thought the movie was going to be overlooked, but neither of them were. So I'm very happy about that. So that's 5 is The Martian. I'm
really glad that it's going to be considered for Oscars and shit, because it's like what Jackson said. This movie is like soaked with optimism that it's outstanding. It kind of makes you smile a little bit. It's like, wow, there's really no like dread or misery. It's all optimistic. Like, you never see that in survival movies. So yeah, The Martian's a fantastic film. It's not on my list, but I still loved it overall. My number 5, I'm actually curious to see if this is on Jackson's list, period. My number 5 is Steve Jobs. I absolutely love this movie to death. When I walked out, I was like, well, that was an experience I'm never gonna forget, because it's told in this like literal 3-act structure where we focus on one product launch, then the next one, then the next one, and then throughout the 3 acts where we kind of get a mix of character development and story and stuff, and we get to know who Steve Jobs is and his daughter and Wozniak and his assistant and all this other stuff. And it's just an enticing movie. And Aaron Sorkin's dialogue is the star. It fuels the movie. I love Michael Fassbender as Steve Jobs, but I actually like the supporting cast more than him. I love Kate Winslet, and I even love my boy Seth Rogen. He does a really good job as Wozniak. So Steve Jobs is such a unique movie. It's so kinetic and fast, and it just keeps you engaged and on top of your feet. There's a couple scenes that stand out to me as some of the best of the year, one of which is Jeff Daniels and Michael Fassbender arguing kind of like below the basement of wherever the product launch is, like right before he goes up there to talk about the product. It's so enticing. It just grabs you by the throat and does not let go. It is one hell of a movie. And a lot of people may not like it just because of the way it's structured, but I found it really engrossing, and that's one of my favorites of the year. So, Jackson, did you see Steve Jobs?
I did, and it is on my list.
Ooh, okay.
But yeah, I mean, the only gripe I had was that the plot structure was a little contrived because it's like, okay, the same 3-4 people all wait for a product launch to come to him with their bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, to me, that seemed a little weird that it was the same people at all these product launches. Like, they hadn't spoken to him since the last product launch, and they're like, hey, he has a new product launch. Let's all just go and unload our crap on him.
Yeah, no, I see, now I look like an idiot. You're right. Like, that is it's kind of weird. It's like, you know, because one of them is like 10 years in between, so it's like, hello?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
But that's the only gripe. I thought it was a great movie otherwise. Fassbender, I want him to win Best Actor.
Really? You have him as the front runner?
Well, I don't know about it. I don't know if he will win, but I just want him to.
Ooh, okay. Yeah,
I do think he'll be nominated. Yeah, I have him as a front runner for that.
He's definitely my top 2, and I'll tell you my top number 1 when I get there. But with that being said, Jackson, what is your number 4-0?
4-0?
4-0.
4-0.
Because apparently I know Spanish.
Hateful Eight.
Wow, it's actually higher. Shit.
Yeah, you know, I struggled with the movie because there are some parts of it that I think are really ugly. Some of the violence I think is a little too far even for Tarantino. In terms of towards the end, there's kind of a slow thing that happens. There's like a bit of slow violence that I found very disturbing. But I gotta say, that really didn't faze what otherwise, and I say otherwise, but I'm still not even sold that I dislike those scenes. I just don't know how I feel about them yet. But or the scene right before the intermission, you know what I'm talking about.
Oh God,
is really dark.
It's pretty fucking dark.
It's pretty brutal, and I wasn't sure if I thought that was, you know, inappropriate or not. But otherwise, it's a great movie. The performances, particularly Samuel L. Jackson, I think is Oscar worthy. I don't think he'll get looked at, but I think this is his best performance since like maybe Jackie Brown. Jennifer Jason Leigh, who I think is heavily in the Oscar talk.
Oh yes, for sure.
Kurt Russell, who's always been an underrated actor in my mind. This is some of his best work. And then fucking Walton Goggins, who I want to go and watch Justified now, just because of how good he is in that movie. I'm like, he's got to be amazing in Justified. He's one of those actors that's just in a lot of stuff, but always as a kind of one of those character actors where you're like, I know that guy and I like him, but I don't know what he's from. I don't know his name.
Yeah.
I think this is really going to propel him higher because this is a fantastic performance. Yeah,
he's definitely top 2 for me in the whole entire movie.
And I also love, the score. Ennio Morricone.
Oh, the score.
Ennio Morricone did The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, which is probably my favorite film score of all time.
Yeah.
I think The Ecstasy of Gold is like the king of score tracks. And so what's interesting, so he's my favorite. And what's interesting is that I read that he used 3 tracks that were supposed to go on the score for The Thing, the John Carpenter film.
Yeah.
And he used them instead for this movie. And it's so fitting, not just because Kurt Russell is in both of them,
yeah,
but because the movies are essentially about the same thing. They are about not knowing who you can trust.
Yeah.
And being trapped with them in a snowstorm. It's basically The Thing. And actually, if you think about it also, it's basically Cowboy Reservoir Dogs.
No, that's basically what it is.
It is Cowboy Reservoir Dogs. So if you like Reservoir Dogs,
you will love this one.
And I love Reservoir Dogs, and you'll dig this. It's a great movie. Yeah.
Did you I really appreciate the overture and having that music really get us in the movie already. Like,
it was nice.
Yeah, it was because it highlights the score, and the whole score, it starts out kind of like mystical and magical, and then it goes into like dread, and you're just like, oh my God, like this is gonna be a hell of an adventure. So yeah, the overture is fucking awesome. So The Hateful Eight is higher on his list, but hey, it's on both of our lists. So please go see it when you can, and go see it in the 70mm Roadshow edition, full 3 hours. Please go see it in that version the way it is intended. So my number 4, I saw this with me and Jackson's good friend Joel on Facebook, and I still think about this movie to this day. I really love it. It's The End of the Tour. This is one of those movies that's it's really quiet, it's really somber, it's really humble, and we follow these two guys, David Foster Wallace, played by Jason Segel, who delivers it's the best performance of his career. Then we have Jesse Eisenberg, who's the author that's, following around and having this story, whatever. It's so dialogue driven, and we follow these characters, and it's just, like I said, it's so quiet and intimate. And it's really philosophical at some points, and you're just like, wow. I walked away like feeling very enlightened, but I don't really know why. So, like I said, it's just a really dialogue-heavy movie, but it focuses on these two characters, and it's a great David Foster Wallace is a very interesting person, and I think
he is.
Yeah, and if you watch the movie, I think Jason Segel did the best he could with that person. So if you guys have not seen End of the Tour, I would highly suggest it. It's just a very quiet movie, like I said, but it really kind of affects you and just really makes you ponder life, because David Foster Wallace in the movie has a lot of things to say about life, and he's actually correct. And it makes you kind of go, oh my God, my life sucks ass right now. I need to change my shit. So End of the Tour is my number 4. Jackson, you saw this one, right?
I didn't, but
okay.
I do like David Foster Wallace. I remember I had to, my first semester when I transferred to this new college, so my 3rd semester of college, I had to read his graduation speech.
Okay.
Like he was speaking to graduates at Kenyon College. I forgot where Kenyon College is. Not Kenya. But it's Kenyon.
Yeah.
But really interesting, called like What is Water? And I ended up getting the book version of it. He's a really interesting writer. I want to get more into him, but it was when I first saw images of, because I've been following the movie for a while, when I saw images of Jason Segel looking like him, I'm like, that is so perfect. Like I don't know if you've seen the real David Foster Wallace, what he looked like.
No, I haven't.
Look it up after this. Like, it's uncanny.
Is it pretty accurate?
It's perfect. I was like,
that's awesome.
And I'm glad to hear Jason Segel's good in it, because he is an underrated actor.
I think he should actually, if we're being honest, I think he should be nominated for best supporting.
Yeah, I've heard that. You're
not
the first person to say that to me.
So please check it out and let me know what you think of it, because
I didn't know you saw a movie with Joel though.
Did you not know? Oh wait,
no.
Did you not know that?
No one mentioned it. You guys hung out?
I know.
What the fuck, Joel?
See, Joel doesn't. Joel kept it quiet because he doesn't really like me in person. I'm just kidding. He's just like, oh fuck that guy.
He was embarrassed.
He probably was. He probably went home and he was like, dear God, that fucking guy. No, Joel, I love you, buddy. Let's go see another movie again. Jackson, why the fuck are you not in Texas so we can go see some shit? God.
Because I'm smart.
No, you're not smart.
I'm not smart.
Not right now, you're not. So we're getting down to our top 3, guys. This is exciting. Jackson, what is your number 3?
So I should mention these top 3. They could all be number 1, 2. They could all be rearranged really in any order, because I really had a hard time picking.
Ooh, okay.
But as I have it right here listed, my number 3 is one of the ones I saw today, which is Youth.
Ooh, is it that good?
I loved it.
I didn't get to see it.
Baffled by the mixed reception. I thought it was profound, very artsy, very Italian. Maybe doesn't hold thematically that strongly, but the performances are excellent. Michael Caine is amazing. It's a very understated performance. Paul Dano, Harvey Keitel, they're both great. Jane Fonda is great, but she's not in it that much. Which is weird that she's getting all this like award acclaim, but not that she's not worthy, but it's literally like 2 scenes. And then Rachel Weisz, also fantastic. So yeah, it's a hard movie to describe because it's surreal, it's strange, and it doesn't really follow a set story. It's just kind of, it meanders a lot. But I really like movies that are just sort of slice of life movies.
Yeah. No, I mean those are some of the best ones. It's kind of like you watched the show Louis, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's basically just a slice of his life. It's just plastered throughout episodes. So I mean,
right. So it's that sort of thing. Not content wise. It's not similar that way, but it is actually a very funny movie. So yeah, it reminds me of a lot of like La Dolce Vita.
Mm.
If you like La Dolce Vita, if you're a Fellini guy, and you should be, then definitely Youth is a great movie.
I need to check it out because when I went to Fantastic Fest, it was between that and The Lobster, and I chose The Lobster. So did I make the right choice? I enjoyed The Lobster. I wasn't like blown away like most people, but I definitely need to check out Youth. And come on, who couldn't be enticed from the poster? It's a fucking butt crack like right there in your face. So I mean, shit. That's a great choice, man. Because I've actually been hearing great things. I haven't heard any mixed things. So yeah, my number 3. I don't know if Jackson's. Oh wait, no, he said he didn't. Sorry. Number 3 is Room. I absolutely loved Room so much. This was one of those movies where it captures the imagination of a young child, and it kind of puts you in that child's shoes when you're 5 years old and you're kind of discovering the world and what the fuck is out there and stuff, and you just want to ask questions and you're curious and stuff. This little boy in the movie is stuck in this room, and he's in there with his mom, played by Brie Larson, and he doesn't know what the world is. They've been stuck there for a long time, and all I'm going to say, because this is in the trailer, this is not spoiling it, the boy gets out, and he discovers the world for the first time. So it's a very kind of like awe-inspiring movie, and it's like, oh my God, I used to be like this as a kid and stuff, and you can feel the emotions that kid was going through. The kid played by Jacob Tremblay, which I fully deserve. He deserves that nomination he's got for the Golden Globes or the SAG Award. SAGs. But he needs to be nominated for an Oscar because he's just that good. And then Brie Larson gives a heartbreaking performance. Oh dear God. Like she's a character that's conflicted. She's like, I've been in the world and I was taken away from it. Do I really want to go back to that shitty time of my life and stuff? And it's really, like I said, just heartbreaking with her character and stuff. I really, really love this movie unabashedly. So, Room is number 3. So, Jackson, when you ever have a chance, check it out, man. I recommend it.
Yeah, no, I'm going to try and watch it this week.
Like, when you watch it, look, I think Brie Larson should be in the running for winning, and I think Jacob Tremblay should be nominated. Like, that's how good they are. So, when you watch it, please let me know what who you thought was better, Tremblay or Larson. All right, so Jackson, what is your number 2?
My number 2, and again, my top 3 are sort of interchangeable, is Steve Jobs.
Oh shit! Wow.
Yeah, I loved it. I mean, I already talked about it really, but some weird editing choices. Some, again, the structure is kind of contrived, but also I think it benefits. I think it does a good job of filling in the gaps. Like I felt like I had a full picture, even though I didn't have a full picture. I only had the 3 segments, but it made me feel like I had a full picture.
Yeah.
Performances are amazing. Fassbender's going to get nominated. Winslet's going to get nominated.
Now, be honest with me before we move on. Like, I know you're not much of a Rogen fan, but don't you think like this is the best performance he's given?
Up there, like with 50-50, I think.
Okay, I'll give you that. Like, it was actually like a pretty damn good performance from him, even though he wasn't in it that much.
Yeah, no, he's good. He's good.
He's very pivotal to
especially in the third act.
Yeah.
Or at the third conference when he's yelling at him in the auditorium.
Oh, that was great.
That's a great monologue.
I mean, to be honest with you, I don't know what I like more, that one or when he was in the orchestra area. Yeah, that one was really good. But no, seriously, like I think Jackson, like, and Joel and myself are like the only ones that have put Steve Jobs in like the top 5, because I haven't heard anyone put Steve Jobs on their list. Like, it's kind of like one of those movies, like, you either really love it or you kind of just whatever. But I think Joel had it as his number 1, right?
Oh, I haven't read his list yet.
Oh, I haven't either. Because remember, he doesn't like me. He likes you.
Yeah.
He gives Jackson the list like a week in advance.
A week in advance.
So, Jackson's number 2 couldn't be far different than my number 2. My number 2 is Inside Out. I'm not gonna lie, I fucking bawled. When I saw this movie, first of all, I was the only one without a date or children, so I looked very creepy. But this was a movie that struck a chord with me because I grew up like everyone. Well, I kind of grew up, but like kids that were watching the movie, I was like, I don't think they're gonna really get many of these references to growing up and losing kind of your childhood and growing into adulthood and stuff. I don't think they're gonna get that as much as we did. And I gotta tell you, it hits you where it fucking hurts. There's a bunch of scenes in the movie that involve like memories and imaginary characters and building blocks for your personality, and some of it being shattered while others being rebuilt. It's so great psychologically. I think every kid should watch this, not only for the entertainment value, but to learn the importance of growing up and learning that it's okay. It is scary, but you'll get through it, and it will be for the better, and it shapes who you are and stuff. It's just because all of the movie is just a girl moving. That's all it is. It's just a girl moving from one city to the next, but we see how it affects her, like, you know, with anger, sadness, joy, and all that stuff. So, and not only that, it's beautifully animated, just like any other Pixar movie, and it's got one of the best voice castings ever. I love, holy shit, I'm blanking. Jackson.
Amy Poehler?
No, Anger.
Louis Black.
Congratulations, San Francisco. You've ruined pizza. It's that fucking voice, man.
He's great. He's the perfect choice.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they went with him, given that it is a family film, and he is, I mean, you watch his
outspoken
stand-up. Well, you watch his stand-up.
Yeah.
It is vulgar.
Yeah, he's very vulgar.
Political and vulgar, but he is, I mean, that's his sort of his personality when he does stand-up. I highly recommend his stand-up if you haven't seen it. He doesn't even need a microphone. Literally,
no,
he will just yell in the auditorium. You watch it. It's fantastic.
He can fucking yell.
Yeah, seriously, I don't think I've ever seen that before. Like a comedian not needing a microphone. He doesn't even have it. I checked. He doesn't even have like one of the headsets, or like even an earpiece. He's straight up just yelling.
It's so true. I'm just imagining him like I know Jackson can't see me right now, but I'm gonna do this on the video. Like every time I imagine like Louis Black is in the recording studio doing a line for Inside Out, he's like shaking his hands around like he does on stage, like he's very animated and stuff.
Yeah. I felt like they translated that a little bit.
They probably
just
just
the animation.
Jackson, wouldn't it be fucking crazy if they mocap his performance in the recording studio?
They wouldn't even have to change his look that much, to be honest. Like he does kind of look like that.
He's got a huge block red head. That
yeah, like I thought in particular,
man,
was Phyllis Smith.
Yeah, Sadness.
Who played Sadness?
Yeah,
she had so much nuance in her performance. It's a really great performance. That's definitely a really good pick. That was really hard to kick off my top 10. Really, really hard, and that really was my number 11 actually. So like it was between that and Brooklyn. I'm
actually like I knew you liked it Inside Out, but I didn't know you liked it that much to almost put it on your list.
But what's interesting, what's wild is that that is like half. Like if I were to list my favorite Pixar films, that would be like 8. That's how good they are.
Oh, 8?
Something like that. 7.
Damn, yeah, I put
like
it.
That's how much I love a good chunk of their movies.
Yeah, no, I'm actually I mean, I'm not surprised, but I've never heard you talk about Pixar that much, so this is actually all new to me. I didn't know you liked Pixar.
I haven't seen Monsters University. I didn't like Cars 2, and I didn't like The Good Dinosaur. Other than that, I think they're solid to fantastic. Yeah, no,
holy shit, my mind's just like I seriously, guys, I've known Jackson for like almost 3 years now. I've never heard him once talk about a Pixar movie ever. So like this is fucking news to me. So no, that's awesome that you like him. I'd probably put Inside Out in my top 3 actually. I actually enjoyed it that much. I'd probably do Toy Story 3, Inside Out, and Up are my top 3 probably. So we're getting down to our number 1 picks now. I don't know. I honestly don't know what he put on his number 1 because he put in a documentary, like he said, last year, and I really liked the documentary that he put, which was Life Itself. he put the documentary this year at number 8. And so Jackson, what's your number 1, bud?
So this is one I know quite a few people who really do not like it.
Ooh.
It's the distribution on how much you like it is pretty widespread, but I'm definitely at the high end of that distribution. And this is a guy who made a great season of television a year back.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, it's now he's made this movie, Beasts of No Nation.
Oh my God. What the fuck?
Yeah.
This is what?
That really
wow.
Did you not like it?
No, I really liked it, but I didn't want to put it in my, because like I told you, this year was competitive, dude.
Yeah.
Shit.
But again, that could have been number 2 or number 3. But I mean, it is really, really harrowing and hard to watch.
Yeah,
and
no, it definitely
at times just so quietly profound. And Idris Elba, who I think will get nominated, I think it's the performance of the year of any men, women, supporting, not supporting.
The kid was really good too.
The kid is amazing.
Yeah, he was really good.
Oh my God, I have not seen a child performance that good since I think Beasts of the Southern Wild.
Yeah.
Although I'll have to see Room and see how that compares. But Abraham Attah, for his first performance, that kid is incredible, and I really hope his career takes off, because he was better than 95% of the adult actors I saw this year.
Well, and he also reminded me of what was the guy's name from Captain Phillips, the actual Somalian?
Oh,
Bakar Abdi or something.
Yeah, I think that was it. Bakar Abdi.
Well, anyways, like it kind of reminded me of that.
I'm looking this up right now. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. Like it kind of reminded me of that performance where I was like, "Holy shit! Whoa, it's just their first movie? What the fuck?"
Yeah, he's. I mean, that's a dude. Barkhad Abdi.
Okay, Barkhad. Yeah.
Yeah, that dude was great in that, and yeah, Abraham Attah is incredible. I think it's shot beautifully. I think
it definitely is.
Who I think actually took over because his original cinematographer couldn't do it. But he has a great eye for visuals. There's this kind of pinkish red hue that some of the scenes have.
It's really colorful. It's like super rich in color.
It's surprisingly colorful given the subject matter, isn't it? And
it's a nice contrast.
Yeah. I think if it were up to me, this kid would get an Oscar nomination for Best Actor.
Shit.
I think Idris Elba should win every award ever, because
well, of course, he's awesome.
He has a really hard job because he is a slimy, disgusting, vile character. Really.
Oh, he's a piece of shit in that movie.
The biggest piece of shit.
Yeah. Like there's one scene in particular. You know which one I'm talking about.
Yes.
It's pretty. You're just like, don't go there. Don't go. Oh, you went there. You went there.
Yeah, and just the moment after that with the head on the shoulder was just so quiet, almost cry, dude. Like just so quiet and profound. And like I said, but he also has to convince you that he's magnetic. You also have to understand why these people follow him. Yeah. And he is magnetic and he's strangely charming, but he's a piece of shit. So yeah, it's on Netflix. It's a Netflix exclusive film. It did air in some theaters, but most people, I would venture, it's at least 3/4 saw it on Netflix. Obviously bigger screen is better, but I watched this on my laptop and it was my number 1. So
yeah, I mean, no, I watched it that day when it came out on October, whatever, when it came out. But oh my God, dude, you want to talk about a powerful movie? That is a powerful fucking movie. And just like what Jackson said, it's kind of astounding how rich and deep the colors are in the cinematography with the jungles and the waters and stuff. And then the contrast of like the violence and the blood. It's crazy.
Yeah. I'd have to look back at other years and see when was the last time I liked a war movie this much, because I don't know if I've liked a ton of war movies this year or in recent years past.
That's actually a good question. When was the last good war movie?
Like great war movie that I loved. I don't know.
Maybe. Oh my God, I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? It was probably The Hurt Locker.
Yeah, it's true. Her arc was
Or
fine.
Inglorious Bastards, if you want to count that.
Ooh, yeah, I'll count that. No,
Right, yeah.
the Hurt Locker's it's fine, but it's not like great.
Oh, to me, that's like a modern classic war movie.
Yeah, no, for sure. If we had to pick one, that's definitely the one to pick.
I love that movie.
All right, so
Anyway, sorry, you're number one.
My number one is just like Jackson in terms of contrast and the way it's shot, with the content and the brutality of it, and the visceral nature of this dreamlike movie. It kind of just takes your breath away. When I got out of it, I was like, not only is Lubeski going to win for his third year as cinematographer, I think Inarritu will probably win Best Director second time in a row, and I'm going to put my money on big for Leo to get Best Actor. It's The Revenant, ladies and gentlemen. I absolutely fucking love this movie. It's not only is it brutal and hard to watch, but it kind of sets you in this like weird sense of realism. It's like I felt like I was transported back to that time, that frontier times where there was no fucking limits at all. Like everyone was just fucking killing each other, and just it was just a brutal time to live in. It's a revenge story. Leo gives the performance of his life. I really like Tom Hardy in it as well. He's also a piece of shit in that movie.
You think it's his best performance?
Leo's?
Yeah, like you think it's the performance of his life, like it's his best work?
Yes.
Wow. Yeah, I'm super excited for that. It came out very limited just recently, so now, I won't get to see it until January.
Of course, yeah. I want Jackson to go in there with low bars because anything I say, Jackson's not going to fucking listen to. So
no, because you know what? I mean, I loved Birdman. I think that was like my number 3 last year, and Amores Perros is like one of my favorite movies of the century. So I'm on board that train.
Yeah, no, and the thing is with Leo in this movie, like there's very minimal dialogue and it's very action heavy, and he has to express a lot of stuff. He's got to go through all the motions in this harsh environment and stuff. So that's why I kind of liked it. It's super different from anything he's ever done, to where I was like, that's got to be the best one, or at least top 2 performances he's ever done in my opinion. But I mean, I really liked everyone in this. Like I said, Lubeski's cinematography, oh dear fucking lord, it is outstanding. How the fuck did they do some of this stuff? Okay, listen, everyone that's talking about the bear scene, they're absolutely fucking right. It's going to go down as one of those scenes in history, in film history, that people are going to talk about years from now. It is that damn good.
Interesting, because oh no, never mind. I was thinking about the editing. I was thinking like, when you said you weren't impressed with the editing of Birdman, but I'm confused at the cinematography. Never mind.
Yeah. I will say this, since Jackson brought that up, it is 2 hours and 40 minutes. It can kind of feel slow in some segments, but I was so engrossed on what I was seeing visually, I couldn't look away. Like, that's how great it was. The bear scene is ridiculous, because you got to keep in mind, they shot this in natural light. They shot it with the most bare bones environment you can think of. And this bear with CGI, and you're like, how the fuck did they pull this off? Like, it's incredible. It's because it's a scene that keeps going and going, and you're like, that's probably how it would go down if you were attacked by a bear. So I really like The Revenant. It is a brutal force in nature that just you cannot look away from. And like I said, it's like a dream. It's very dreamlike, and it's just, I don't know, man. It's just one of those movies that you can't stop thinking about, and that's my favorite of the year. So The Revenant. Yeah. And I can't wait to see what Jackson thinks of it, because he's definitely going to lower it a couple bars lower than me, because the only movie in history, out of me and Jackson's 3-year-long engagement that we've had on the internet, the only movie that we've ever gushed about on the same level is the fucking Lego movie. That's about it. Everything else has been kind of mismatched a little bit, but the Lego movie is the only, Lego movie is the only one where we're just like, bro, that was a great movie. Yeah, it fucking was. So, no, I'm actually really excited to see what Jackson thinks of The Revenant.
Well, I'll let you know. If you remember, that was, and this is a fantastic segue, and you'll agree with me once we're through this puppy. But that was like, I think, my number 2 most anticipated.
Oh yeah, it was.
And the number 1 was Silence, which then got pushed to 2016. So now it's interesting to see when I make my list, because I'm coming back next week.
He is coming back next week.
to do most anticipated. But I'm making my list. It'll be interesting to see if that's still number one or if it is even on the list at all.
I was going to say, because at this point, it's like, okay, Scorsese, you're really going to release it this year? So, yeah, no, I remember that because I think we both had the Revenant on there for sure. Because all we saw was like one fucking image at that point. It was like Leo looking off.
Even before that, to be honest.
Oh yeah, I mean, when you hear that Inarritu's doing this fucking movie, it's groundbreaking. But
yeah, we were sold on the cast and crew alone.
Well, and me and Jackson have talked about this numerous times, and we're still worried about it. Because when I get to the box office results, I'll let you guys know. The Revenant costs so much money to make, and we're very worried that it's not going to make its money back. And Inarritu might go in the hole for this.
We're worried. I was telling Chase I was worried it might be like Heaven's Gate.
Oh God! Don't be that bad, please.
But you know, I mean, obviously, it has the benefit of having received really fantastic reviews.
Yeah.
As opposed to Heaven's Gate, which was trashed by critics. But anyway, yeah. So I will be back next week.
Yeah, that's a great segue. Next week is episode 111, guys. It's the top 5 anticipated 2016. Jackson's only on 2 of them out the entire year. It's these 2 because he doesn't.
No. And then I do the midway one, except when you decide to do it with hooligans instead.
That fucking episode, man. I that night I made 2 enemies faster than I did in my entire life. Like that was insane how quickly they turned. I turned against them. They turned against me. It was great. But yeah, here's the list, guys. If you guys watching on YouTube, Jackson's list is Brooklyn, Mad Max, The Hunting Ground, Sicario, Queen of Earth, The Martian, The Hateful Eight, Youth, Steve Jobs, and Beast of No Nation. And in my top 10 is The Hunting Ground, Son of Saul, Cooties, The Hateful Eight, Sicario, Steve Jobs, The End of the Tour Room, Inside Out, and The Revenant. This has been a fantastic year for film.
Put Cooties above the Holocaust movie.
I know.
Realize that.
Don't hate me, America.
Man, that's you're an awful person.
Hey,
wow.
Hey, hey, I put the Holocaust movie above rape, so you know.
That's true. No, that seems like a fair increase in stakes.
I don't know, man. Hunting Ground's pretty unbearable to watch.
No, it is. I'm just saying, you go from that to the Holocaust.
That's true.
That's a jump upwards.
That's true. Dude,
I guess you could take that up to zombies.
Oh my God, Jackson's gonna fucking see Son of Saul, and he's gonna be like, "God damn it, why'd you put that as your number 9?" So, yeah, guys, that's our list for this week. Jackson, I want to thank you for coming on. Jackson's Twitter account will be below if you guys want to go follow him and his crazy fucking antics. He's one. Listen, I'm not even joking. Jackson's one of the funniest human beings I've ever come across. He's ridiculous.
Thank you.
Yeah, so next week we'll do our top 5 most anticipated 2016. Jackson, do you want to stick around? Do you have to go? I was going to do the box office right now.
I'm not fucking staying for that.
Okay. Okay, Jackson.
It's not going to happen. All right, bye.
All right, I'll see you later. All right, so for our box office results for the weekend, guys, and this is what me and Jackson were talking about. The Revenant opened up in limited release, and it only opened up in 4 theaters, and it only made $471,000. That's kind of good, kind of bad. I mean, it's about $100,000 per theater, so it's not terrible. But I mean, I am kind of worried about it because I think the budget's close to $100 million. And then the Hateful Eight also opened up a limited release, but only opened up in 100 theaters, and it made $4.5 million. That's fucking awesome. So, because the screening I went to was sold out, which was a great news. Point Break was also a new one. It came in at number 8 with $10.2 million. Yikes. How much did that fucking movie cost? The budget is unknown. However, Point Break, it was only $10 million domestically, which is the U.S. and Canada, but worldwide it made $53 million. Who the fuck is seeing it over the seas? That makes no sense to me. Who's fucking paying currency to see that movie? The Big Short also came out this weekend, but it only made $10.5 million. Its budget, if I can get to it, hold on, is $28 million, and its total right now worldwide is 17. You guys know the rules. It needs to make about do double on its budget to break even. So 28 times 2, if I can do my math correctly, is 56, and that's nowhere close. All right. And another one that came out, Concussion, came out at number 6, so that barely missed it with 11 million, and its budget is 35 million, and there's no worldwide numbers, it's just domestic, so 11 million is its total. So here it is, the top 5 movies for the weekend, Christmas weekend. Number 5 is Alvin and the Dick Monks. I mean the shit monks. I mean the fuck monks and the road dick. I mean the road shit. And it made 12.7 million. I'm sorry to report this, but domestically it's made 39 million, and worldwide it's made 47 million. Why? Can't you just have your kids go play at the park or like stare at a wall for an hour and a half? All right, so number 4 is Sisters with 13.8 million. It came out last weekend. Its budget is 30 million, and right now domestically it's got 37, and its worldwide total is 40 million. So it needs to make about 60 to break even. Still ways off, but I will say that it is definitely the better comedy to see versus number 2. Number 3 is Joy with 17.5 million. I actually really like Joy. Obviously, it didn't make my top 10 of the year, but I really liked it. I don't know why it's getting so much hate. Its budget is 60 million, which means 120 million to break even. Worldwide, it's got 19 million. That's not good. So number 2, why? Daddy's Home with $38 million. Why the fuck? I need to calm down. My Crohn's are going to explode. And worldwide, it's made 43 million. That movie was balls. Do not see Daddy's Home. Do not support it. Do not give its money. Oh, God. All right. And number 1, you guys know this was going to come. But last weekend, it was number 1 and it only dropped 38%, which is outstanding, from 258 million. No, wait. 248. I forgot the number was last week. But this week, guys, Star Wars The Force Awakens has made $153 million. Holy fuck nut. That is a lot of money. And right now, on this weekend, so it's been out for a week, it's already made $1 billion. Wow. So is it on track to beat Avatar? I don't know. Domestically, or I mean, worldwide, Avatar is almost, it's got like 2.7 billion. It's got a long way to go worldwide. But domestically, Avatar's got 760. I mean, Star Wars is only about 216 million away. That's not that much, considering the fact that it's already made $544 million domestically in a week. My voice is cracked. Correct? That's insane. So I don't know if it can beat it, but I'm going to go ahead and say it will. And that is it for the box office, guys. So Jackson had to go. That kooky guy, man. I fucking love him. He's one of my favorites. Jackson will be back next week for episode 111 for the top 5 anticipated films of 2016. But this is 2015, guys. What do you guys have to say? Was this a great year for film? What is your top 10? Please let me know in the comments down below and tell me if I'm fucking wrong. And why did I put Cooties above a Holocaust movie and above a rape documentary? Those questions will never be answered. Because when I rate a movie, or when I think about my top 10 films of the year, I base it on 3 things. I base it on the experience I had in the theater, the emotion that it brought out of me, and just technically as a film. So those are the 3 things that I kind of go off of. And this is my top 10, guys. It's a pretty solid list. This was a hard year to do. I'm just going to go ahead and say that. So if you'd like to follow me on Twitter, guys, it's at RealChaseLee. And if you're listening on YouTube or watching on YouTube, if I may, then you want audio-only version of this podcast, Spreaker, iHeartRadio, SoundCloud, all that stuff will be in the link in the description below. And if you're listening on Spreaker, SoundCloud, or iHeartRadio, and you want a video version of this podcast and see me flail around like Kermit the Frog, hi, Kermit the Frog here. Oh, God, that was embarrassing. Anyways, then that link will be in the description below. And then you can find me on WeLoveFilm.com and DallasMoviescreens.com. Guys, 2015, this is a wrap for this show. Episode 110, guys. I didn't think I was going to make it this far. Next week is the first episode of 2016. Holy shit, we're going to do a whole nother year. It's going to get crazy. It's going to get kooky. Guys, I fucking love every single one of you. I'm so glad that you guys tune in and listen every single week to my scraggly 12-year-old prepubescent voice. You guys keep me going. You guys are awesome. 2015, what a hell of a year. 2016, bring it on. I'm going to see you guys next week. Let's play the outro music, which is done by my friends band Fervent Roze. Check them out. They're a growing band in Dallas. Link in the description below. So, I'm Chase Lee. This has been Real Me and Colon, a movie podcast. And hey, if you listen to this entire podcast and you're not a movie fan, well, maybe I convinced you to be one. I'll see you guys next week. Play the outro music. Oh, what a fucking list. I'm going to go take a nap now. See you guys later.